All right, everybody, we are live once again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. And I have the sister Ndona on with us today, or this evening. And we're going to be discussing how black men, turn that down, how black men can not build generational wealth without the black woman. Now, let me give a disclaimer. I always have to give a disclaimer when I do videos like this one. This is not a black woman is God. I'm not gonna guilt you guys to marry a black woman that has six children by six different baby daddies. This is not one of those type of situations. But again, you have a lot of black men who are just completely anti-black women and don't realize that we did a show on this yesterday, that you're not serious about if you're a black male, you cannot be serious about the black community if all you do is bash black women, no matter what. So I know generational wealth is an important topic in the black community. I know Umar Johnson and some other people speak on how black men who marry interracially, usually that money is invested and goes towards that non-black community who they marry. And a lot of times the offspring don't marry black. So that money is circulated into into a non-black community. So I have the sister Ndona on with us, and we're going to discuss how it's important for black men to realize that you cannot build generational wealth without the black woman. Ndona, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So what are your thoughts on this topic?
Well, I think that it's definitely true. In order to create generational wealth within the black community, you have to have support from someone who's like-minded, but not only like-minded, but also has a similar, basically who has skin in the game. What you'll find is that black men that marry non-black women, they might be good mothers and even good wives, but at the same time, is her end goal to be able to build up not only her family's wealth, but also the wealth of the community in which they live. And 9 times out of 10, what you'll find is that a non-black spouse, her goal is mainly to focus on her own children, and that's about it, not necessarily contributing to the community in which they live and the people that they coexist with, basically.
So, I mean, so for the most part, the non-black wife is not interested in building up the black community.
For the most part, no. Not saying that they can't be good wives, but their goal is not building up the black community, no.
Okay. So now, are black men who are, you'll see in fact, I'll give you a prime example. What's the brother's name? Donald Glover. Is that his name? With the Atlanta series. Is it Donald Glover, you guys? Donnie Glover?
I think it's Donald.
Right. Him. You have a lot of these CNN anchors, Van Jones, who all are, I guess, compassionate about the black community, but they have white wives.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, can you truly be compassionate about the black community but have a non-black spouse?
I think you can. You definitely can. You can be passionate about the community, but you have to also keep in mind that their passion does not transmit. It's not, their spouse usually doesn't have that same passion. And oftentimes the children tend not to have that same passion as the parent. And there seems to be more often than not a disconnect when it comes to that generation, the children that they have. Very few children from biracial couples have that same passion and desire to give back to the black community that their black father might have had. It's really different if you have a black mother, because usually the mother is spending a lot more time in teaching the culture and the tradition to the children, whereas the father not necessarily.
So how what should the now, of course there are a lot of people saying that, we shouldn't, I guess judge the types of Van Jones and Donald Glover who, again, speak out about racism and are very sincere and have the best interest of heart of the Black community. No. I said Van Jones. Did I say Van Jones or Don Lemon? I'm sorry, Van Jones. Don Lemon is gay.
Yeah, Don Lemon doesn't like women.
Yeah, he doesn't like women. They're saying that we should not really criticize them for having non-Blacks. I mean, even look at Serena Williams. I mean, but this is we're on Black men right now. We'll do a show on Black women as well. So how should the Black community approach the types of, the types like Donald Glover and Don Lemon? I'm not saying Van Jones. I'm sorry, Van Jones. Yeah.
Well, I don't really know much about Donald Glover other than the fact that he's an actor. Mm-hmm. Van Jones, I do watch him a lot. I admire him. But you have to also ask yourself at the same time, to what extent is his argument, for the support of the Black community positively impacting our community? Is it really? He's a vocal person. He's very, well versed on what's taking place in our communities. But is that just for show? Is he really and truly doing something to be able to further the Black agenda? Because you can say one thing on one hand in front of the camera, but at the same time, what are you doing in real life to make a change?
Right.
He's chosen the person that he's, chosen to be with. Now, I don't know if he has children. Will he be able to translate that same passion into the lives of his children? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm noticing, Ndona? Liberal media, the Black men on liberal media, will say CNN, who are given a platform, they're either gay or they have white wives. Mm-hmm. Am I tripping? Am I coming up with something?
It's total fact. They're either gay or they have white wives, or they're just extremely radical, like Al Sharpton.
No, Al Sharpton is Al Sharpton is not radical. He's just,
He's not?
Nah, Al Sharpton is we gonna rise up. He's a clown. But anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But why on TV?
But why is that?
It's like they want to create a caricature of the Black man.
Mm-hmm.
Either he is the, excuse me for saying it, the old, slave-minded, where, master gonna do this or master gonna do that. Either you have that one, or you have the thug, or you have the Black man who hates himself to the point that he doesn't want to marry someone like himself, or then you have the gay.
Right.
You have those four caricatures. You don't have a well-rounded Black man presented to the American public. And I think it's because they don't want the Black man to be seen as normal. Mm-hmm. They want to create these, these categories of what our men are supposed to be. And being a normal man is not one of them.
Mm-hmm. Lonnie says hello.
I'm sorry?
Hi. There's an echo background. Do you have the video on of the live stream too? I mean, okay, we're good. Never mind, it's gone. We're good to go. But she says hello.
Hi there.
She said hello to my African sister. That's what she said. People. That's what she said. So how should we approach? Because again, love who you want. That's my thing. If you love whoever you want, but how should we approach men or young men, boys, in regards to the importance of generational wealth and kind of break it to them? Now, look, you can't build generational wealth outside the Black woman.
I think the first thing would be to train them that relationships are important first and foremost.
Mhm.
And then, after trying to help them to understand that relationships are important, the importance of marriage and creating a relationship with someone that you could build with. And I actually had this conversation with my own children
Oh,
often.
wow.
I spoke to my son, who's now 14. I spoke to him just as recently as last week, and I said to him, well, we were talking about relationships, and we were talking about Cardi B. And he said to me, he was just like, it's great that she's decided to change her life around and she's no longer stripping, but I wouldn't want to marry a woman like that. So that gave me, as a mother, the opportunity to put my little 2 cents in. And I said, you really want to make sure that whoever, you could desire to marry someone who's beautiful, but beauty isn't the only thing that's important. It's about whether or not that person's going to be a good partner for you, if that person's going to help you in building whatever it is you want to build, and is that person going to be a good mother to your children? And that's what's lacking oftentimes within the African American community today, is that parents aren't having conversations with their children to make them aware that your partner and the person you decide to have children with is highly important. And I even mentioned to him, if that person doesn't share, similar worldviews, and if that person doesn't have, similar culture and traditions, would you not want your child to have that same culture and traditions that you were raised with? Importance of family, importance of hard working, importance of education. And at the end of the day, it truthfully does come down to racial identity. I have not yet met a non-Black person who has been able to educate their children on the importance of self-worth and identity. I haven't.
Repeat. I want you to say that again. You just said something. That's important. Okay. Do you think non-Black people could educate Black boys, specifically, on the importance of Black identity, I guess?
And self-worth. I don't think it's possible. Because I can speak about my own, I have a few of my relatives that live in France, and one in particular has children with a Frenchman. And I know in France, they really, really, really push this métis, which, mixed race. You're not Black, you're mixed race. That's great to say that, but then when the children grow up, French society still sees them as being Black, and they're still marginalized, just like any other Black person within the country. So they're not teaching them that the importance of recognizing that though I might have, more than one race within my veins, at the same time, I'm still a Black man, and I'll be seen as a Black man within the society, and I should be able to see self-worth and be proud of who I am as a Black man. And that's not coming from a spouse that's not Black. There might be some out there. I just haven't seen them yet, because I tend to see that the families where there's one Black parent and one white parent, oftentimes, if they do not raise the children as being Black children, they grow up with this idea of, I'm different from you. But then when the shit hits the fan, they're reminded that society as a whole sees them as a Black person. And if you're not teaching, especially a young Black boy, to be proud of who he is in his own skin and be capable of presenting himself as such in society, then that's what leads to what we have now, where we have tons of young Black boys who do not know their value and do not know how to contribute to society and do not know how to build a strong foundation for a family.
All right, Turkey, appreciate the super chat. Turkey says, Dynast, hell no. You can't love whoever you want. This is not how it works, bruh. We need order in our ranks. These coons are giving our resources away.
Well, it's the truth. It's the truth.
So now I got to play devil's advocate. What about the Black men that say, oh, the the black woman, she got me on child support. She dragging me through the courts. We got divorced and she's getting everything through alimony. You know, what are your thoughts? You know, so then now you got this thing called MGTOW, men going their own way, where they're just like, look, only thing we're gonna deal with are prostitutes.
Oh, wow.
Or fly to Brazil, and that's it. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll first deal with the issue with the child support and alimony.
Mm-hmm.
I found that there's a lot of hurt in the African American community,
Mm-hmm.
and you find that because these women are hurt, they
Mm-hmm.
feel that they need to hurt the men too, and then the children are suffering at the same time.
Right.
And they think that the monetary gain is more important than the educational gain of their children, which is not true, because then you see in cities like Chicago, where you have a lot of that going on, communities literally run by Black women, and these kids are getting shot day and night.
Mm-hmm.
No fathers, but the communities are run by Black women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end of the day, something has to change. There has to be like an evaluation of what's taking place and a re-education of the women as well as the men. And then when it comes to those that are just saying, well, I just don't want to get married anyway, I just want to go and seek out prostitution, that says more about him than the women.
Mm.
Because you don't necessarily have to just get a prostitute if you're looking for sex. If you feel that you're a man of substance and a man of value,
Mm-hmm.
you can still find a good woman. It doesn't necessarily have to be an African American woman. It could be an African woman, or it could be an Afro-Cuban woman, or even Afro-Brazilian, but not just the prostitutes.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of good women in Brazil, a lot of them, and they're not all in the brothels.
Amara Kamara makes a great point. In Chicago, you literally have like 13. You really have high school kids who are running the hoods now.
Yeah, it's really bad. Even recently, there were some shootings over the weekend.
A ton.
Mm-hmm.
A whole bunch. And then he made a great point too about the go find a non-Black American woman that might be here in America.
Mm-hmm.
But have you watched Eddie Murphy Raw before? Have you heard Eddie Murphy?
I've seen Raw, but I don't remember it like, step by step.
So I think Eddie Murphy made the joke like, if you get a woman from Africa and bring her to America, the first thing she's going to say when she gets off the plane is, "I want half."
Oh yeah, I remember that part.
So what are your thoughts on that?
What I can say is, and this is really sad,
mm-hmm.
there are a lot of African people who have immigrated to not just the United States and Canada, but also Europe, that are falling victim to that, where they think that, okay, well, now that I'm here, I can now be American, or French, but I'm going to be more French or more American than the actual French and American people.
Mm-hmm.
But now you see today in 2018, they're the victims. Like just earlier today, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and they were talking about the issues with Africans, not younger Africans, like millennials, not getting married and not even thinking about marriage. Why? Because the majority of the young Black boys who were either born in France or came at a very young age and grew up there are now basically there with like vocational diplomas that have no value. They have no jobs. They have very limited education, and they really can't do much of anything but just hang out like they're doing over here in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
They're not productive in
Right.
society. And it's basically a plan in order to continue this this creation of the underclass, where you have limited education, limited skills, and there's nothing you could do but be a derelict to society. And it's happened here, and it's happening in these other countries as well. I really don't. I don't know. I've seen where there are some African families where they really try and keep the values going, but I also see that there are others where they're just happy to be outside of their home country, and they just feel, okay, well, because I'm now here, I can raise my children however, or my children can be more American than the American, and then they find that their children are now in their 20s and they have no skills, they have no education, and they are now starting to be just like the average ghetto dweller in the States. And the same thing in France. The issue in the ghetto in France is horrific.
I heard about that. Yeah, I've heard about what's going on in France. But now let me ask you, do you think dusty feminism has anything to do with black men not wanting to deal with black women here in America?
Oh, absolutely. Because what you'll find is that you have so many women who hate men because of God knows what, to the point
that daddy issues.
Yeah, exactly. Daddy issues, to the point where they just feel that a man can't do anything for them. And I'm not even talking about providing financially, just as a life partner.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, what they find is they find themselves in a situation where they're by themselves, raising children, and the kids are missing out. She's missing out because she's frustrated sexually and mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And the community basically suffers as a result of it. You know, I've seen women where they're just like, oh, I don't need a man, but they're sleeping with anyone that's willing to smile at her. And the next thing you know, that simple smile turns into about 4 or 5 kids by 4 or 5 different fathers. And then they're out in the streets protesting, talking about how they don't need men, but they needed them for sexual satisfaction, but they don't need them to be a partner and a parent to the child that they created. It doesn't make any sense.
Let me ask you, do you think men, especially like these MGTOW men, so-called MGTOW, that's how you spell it, men going their own way, MGTOW. That's like, this is, you got to look this up. This is like a real situation. Do you think just so they could keep, or pass down generational wealth, do you think they should consider marrying black women outside of the country and relocating and not bringing them to here in America? So they won't come to America and then say, I want half?
It depends. It depends on what skills the man has. Like, if he's capable of relocating to another country and building his life there, so be it. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. It's just that funny thing, I was talking to my mom about a song that Nas did, where he said, open every prison, prison in Attica and send them to Africa.
Right.
Africa doesn't need the criminals.
Right, we don't.
Right? At least send those that are productive. So if he's capable of building a business or transitioning his business from here to Africa or any other country, do it. Do it, because if you're able to build wealth there and still contribute here or wherever else you're trying to be, do it. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand why people feel that they should be bound by a border anyway.
So okay, let's see here. Here we go. ACLUNI says, could you ask Ndona if Congolese can help African Americans develop their own traditional chieftaincy and family structure?
You have to be careful with that.
Go ahead.
They could definitely help, but it depends on whether you want the true traditions or you want the Catholic traditions that have been.
No, we need the truth. Come on now, you know what we mean. Okay. We got the Catholic stuff already here.
Okay. Yeah, there definitely are chiefdoms, but you tend to have to marry into them. It's not that they're going to be like, okay, well, we're going to crown you such and such. Because I'll say one thing about Congolese people, they'll do it, but at the same time, they're just like, look at this one here, But it's usually something that you marry into.
If somebody else is saying, okay, we're speaking on marrying into or how can I put it? Black men marrying into another culture. Should that be treated like black men marrying non-black women as far as generational wealth?
Now, are they black women?
Yeah, they're black. So Marcus the realist says it's more about culture than race. I disagree, but what can a Nigerian wife teach my daughter about being a black American woman in the U.S. that a Puerto Rican can't? Huh? I mean, I'll let you answer that.
That a Puerto Rican can't?
Yeah.
Well, It depends on what type of Puerto Rican, because you have the Puerto Ricans that are proud of being Black, and then you have those self-hating ones.
Right.
Unfortunately, you see far more of them than the others. And what a Nigerian wife can teach him, well, they'll teach the children about family structure and the importance of a wife respecting her husband, and the importance of education, and the importance of continuity of family lineage. Which unfortunately, a lot of times that was lost through the Middle Passage.
Right. Absolutely. So see what else we got here. Holism, thank you for the super chat, brother. We were trying to get you on Saturday. It's just I guess the connection was well, the connection wasn't good. Yeah, I think you're right. Hey, you been called out, Marcus. You just love swirling. Is that true? Y'all's calling you out. Is that true? Yeah, was this a swirler in denial question? Was that what this question was framed as? Marcus? Huh? But I mean, Ndona, just from a financial aspect, what's the importance of generational wealth?
Well, the main importance of generational wealth is, sustainability, as well as being able to care for your family. So think about this. Just on Sunday, I stopped at a Senegalese store on the south side of Chicago. And the people that were running the store were two children. The one who actually got the items that I wanted to buy, I was just like, how old are you? 16? He was like, no, I'm 17. 17 years old. And then his little assistant was 11. And it was the little assistant that knew how to ring up everything and knew the prices of all the products in the store. And that just shows that the parents have already educated these children on how to run a business, and and the importance of not only working together, but creating, enterprise. What you'll find is many immigrants that come from other countries that do that and train their children in the same way, they're able to now take that wealth that they've gained and now pay for the education of their children, purchase properties, purchase businesses. But for the most part, we're not doing that. The average African-American family, even those that own businesses, aren't training the next generation and aren't using the wealth that they earned in order to create more enterprise. And by doing so, investing in the communities in which they live. Like you'll find even like the Italian neighborhoods in New York City, many times, not all times, but sometimes the business that they started out, the money that they got for the businesses were illegal funds, but they funneled it back into their communities, funneled it back into businesses. And then with those businesses, were able to build up their communities and eventually move out of those ghettos within New York City and into nicer parts of either New York or New Jersey or even down to Florida. But for the most part, the Black community isn't doing that.
Right. Now, you mentioned something as far as the Italians, how they were able to build up their community. I mean, they built Las Vegas pretty much off of mafia.
Prostitution and drugs and alcohol.
There are some Black men in America who mean well, who try to do the same thing, but are railroaded. Which, from a woman's perspective, what would you tell Black women who are attracted to Black men with resources, but get these resources illegally? Like how, what would you tell them? Like, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, hypothetically speaking, there are a number of businesses that I've heard of where the funding came from some unknown source. And those funds were then turned into restaurants, turned into beauty salons, beauty supply stores. For the most part, what I've seen with the Black families that have those type of connections, they've been most successful when they've turned them into beauty salons, nail salons. Well, the nail salons for Blacks have gone out the door, but beauty salons and restaurants. And I've seen where you've had the possibility of creating generational wealth by those means.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just the issue in the Black community is primarily shady record labels and strip clubs.
But no, there are restaurants too, like in New
Okay.
York,
Okay.
like Brooklyn, Bronx, all along White Plains Road in the Bronx. You have like a couple,
Mhm.
hair.
Or they don't, and then they want to draw hella attention to themselves, unnecessary attention to themselves. Like, just don't buy the $500,000 car. Like,
Exactly.
articulate properly how you were able to afford the $500,000 car. So,
which I've never understood, because I've driven by projects and I've seen like, $200,000 cars sitting outside the projects. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. But
somebody said drug money paid for the sky rises and white men were part of the process.
Yeah, but the white men funneled it into other businesses that allowed them to become legitimate. Whereas we're, too busy bragging about selling a dime bag.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Somebody in the chat room says, hold on, I don't understand what he's saying. Straight people should take care of the children they have, then can stop stressing of the ones who are gay. What does that mean? What? You want to try to unpackage that, Ndona? That's one of the comments in the chat room.
Well, as far as homosexuality is concerned, I do truthfully believe that there are some people that are born that way. Because there are people that we were kids, like little children, and you're just like, we know he's different. But at the same time, I think that there's an overabundance of it nowadays, especially within the Black community, due to a lack of proper parenting and no fathers in the homes, where the little boys are not being taught how to be boys and not being taught how to be men.
He says, stop abandoning children.
Well, yeah, they're being abandoned.
And I want to give Ya a shout out. Ya, he wanted me to say dusty feminism, and I told him to donate $1 for me saying it. He donated $5. So shout out to Ya with the extra $4. Shout out to Ya. No, but just in general with building generational wealth. Again, a lot of Black men are just worried that they're getting the shit end of the stick by Black women. Now, can you explain to Black men that this is just not necessarily a Black woman thing?
No, it's women in general.
Right.
Yeah. Because you even have white women who are just, taking these men to the cleaners.
Right.
It's about the choice, the person that you choose to be with. If you look at American culture as a whole, relationship building is no longer about the quality of the person, but more about how attractive the person is. So if you're looking to marry someone solely based on how they look, then whatever you get, you deserve. I'm not saying that you go out and pick up, some random butt face, or what do they call them, butterface?
Butterhead. Everything look good, butterhead.
Exactly. Like, I'm not saying that that's what you do, but you choose someone based on their values. You choose someone based on whether or not you feel you can build with that person. And that's the biggest problem. And then another thing is that we have to talk about entrepreneurship. That's the only way anyone can actually create true wealth, building business.
All right, shout out to Caligenesis, we had a dynamic show on Saturday. Brother Caligenesis, we gonna rise up. That's what we gonna do, Caligenesis. Rise up.
I think
did you catch
I think I know which one you're talking about. He's often on your videos.
Yeah. And Holism says the problem is we are trying to control behavior. Mine is controlling the context the behavior exists in. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the only behavior you can control is your own. You can't control the actions and behaviors of others. But it's all about proper selection.
Right.
You can sense the crazy, in the beginning. It's just that a lot of times we try and ignore it or act as if it's not, you know, as bad as it is.
Now, do you think a lot of times Black men are pressured to ignore it?
Yeah, I think so. I think both Black men and Black women are pressured to ignore certain flaws as it being normal. But if we're speaking specifically about Black men having to ignore the flaws of Black women, oh yeah, you know, being loud and disrespectful. They're, oh well, you know, that's how our women are. No, it's not. You know,
Right.
it's not normal. It's not normal for someone because you didn't like what someone says to you, they want to curse you out in public and, you know, fight you. That's not normal. That's not, you know, oh, you know, that's how Black people are. No, that's lie. That's lies. That's slave behavior.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Ndona, everybody's asking where your Nigerian friend's at.
Where are they?
No, where she's at.
Oh, Halima?
Yeah. Everybody wants to know where she at.
She's actually going to be visiting me on Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, want me to see if she's online?
Yeah, see if she's online. We'll bring her on for like 15, like 20 minutes. Yeah, they were asking her. Everyone's asking where she's at.
Halima.
Some people want to know if she has some drive out tags for the low.
I can't tell nobody's business now.
Okay, yeah, everybody's asking for Halima, so we'll let her do a guest appearance if she's free. Yeah, okay. And Amara Kamar makes a great point. He says we have no loyalty and no economic structure. Do you think that has to do a lot to do with generational wealth not being built in the Black community?
Yeah, because you have to learn how to be loyal to each other before you can try and, you know, build anything. If there's no loyalty, it's just like whatever you try and build, it's going to fall apart. Oh, hold on. Let me get. Oh, I have my other phone here.
Okay. Yeah. See if she's around. Yeah. See if she's around. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Shout out to the super chat from St. Louis, St. Louis. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it, guys. Make sure you go to amarachitv.com. Go to amarachitv.com. That's a platform for Black media. Make sure you guys sign up, subscribe, start to post your videos on that site, and also share the content. Amawale, thank you so much for the love, everyone. I'll be in Nigeria in August. Oh, did we lose her? You there?
Who, me?
Oh, you're there. Okay, you're there.
I'm here. How do I do? Sometimes the camera thing.
Did you find her? No, you're good. You're good. We see you. But everybody, thank you for joining us. You're right, Caligenesis. Caligenesis says we need families to build dynasties of generational wealth. He's absolutely correct.
Hello, Halima. How are you, darling? You know, I'm doing one of those videos with my friend Dynast, and they've requested you. Can yeah, but the link, because I didn't you know, I'm gonna send you the link. I'll send you the link. I'm gonna send you the link and then you click on it to join, okay?
Oh God, here we go. All right, cool.
I'm gonna send it to her.
All right, everybody. But make sure you go to amarachitv.com. Let me go ahead and put the link in the Turkey. I'm actually getting Mass's passport in the next week or so. So I'm gonna try to get him over there soon. Make sure you guys go to amarachitv.com. So yeah. But make sure you guys go there, like and share. Also go to
Hi, okay, I just sent you the link now. Okay, so come on now. Because people are looking for you. All right.
Make sure you guys hit that like button as well. Okay, as you enter the chat, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share. Marcus, thank you so much for the credit score. Oh, you know what? Let me ask you this, Ndona. Marcus brings up a great point. Let's keep it a buck. Can we build more businesses, 700 plus FICO scores, no generational wealth without at least a business? I mean, let me ask you a question. What's more important, the FICO score or the woman? Having a good Black woman.
If you have a good Black woman, you can build your credit score.
Okay.
Because she'll know what to do in order to make sure that your bills are paid on time, and that the monies are being funneled into the proper accounts.
Okay.
But we really, really, really need to reiterate: we need to build businesses. Because if you look at any of the multimillionaires, the billionaires, it's all done through creating their own enterprise.
What about land?
You need real estate, your own businesses, and investments.
Do you think Kanye West is putting himself in a position to build generational wealth?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I feel sorry for his kids. There she is. Hey, darling.
Halima.
Yes, my love.
Hey, people want to know, can they build generational wealth? Like, in fact, let me step back for a second. First of all, they want to know, do you got any drive out tags for the low? They want to know, do you have any drive out tags for the low?
No.
Hey, Halima, so we're speaking on building generational wealth. Now, you and your white zaddy in Michigan, do you think do you think it's possible for you to build generational wealth through your white zaddy? Is that possible?
Yes, it is.
How is it possible?
Can you say that again? Because I just came home now.
Okay. No, we're speaking on generational wealth, and we want to know, in your opinion, can you build generational wealth through your white zaddy in Michigan? Brad is in Michigan, right? That where Brad's at in Michigan?
Yeah, he's in Indiana.
Oh, Indiana. Can you build generational wealth with Brad?
That's a tough one.
He's
on the floor.
How is it a tough one?
I think so.
You think so? How? Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think Black men can build generational wealth if they had a Becky?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I think so.
You think so? How?
Yeah, if they are given the tools, if they have the tools, the opportunity, the time, the chance. To me, there are no strong men out there. It's just taking the time and just being at the right place.
You didn't cave. You need to freestyle some bullshit. The fuck? What you talking about? You did the right place.
Time and season.
What you talking about? The fuck? You did the right place.
No, listen, my darling. The time and the season. If they are, they take advantage of the time and the season and take the chance.
Okay. So what you said is possibly if depending on the season, if you find the right white zaddy, that white zaddy, you might be able to build generational wealth just depending on what season it is. That's what you're saying.
She's very good at molding them.
Oh, okay.
She's a sculptor to make sure everything is taken care of financially, and so she's the spiritual aspect, and she molds them to become what she needs them to be in order for her to be able to accomplish what she needs to accomplish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reach the end goal.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been very successful at it.
Really? How are you successful, Halima? Tell us. How are you successful?
We must not divulge all of our secrets.
We must not. We are on social media. We can tell some of the secrets,
But she's very good.
We have to hide the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this the Nigerian recipe? Like, is this
It's all, and I will be on my way to Indiana tomorrow.
Okay. What you got going in Indiana? Is this
going to see Brad?
You going to see Brad?
I have to go and perform my wifely duties. As expected of me.
Okay. Did you and Brad have kids?
No.
Do you have kids, Halima?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how old are your kids?
13 and 10.
Now, are they with a Brad too, or a black man, or a proper Igbo or Yoruba man?
They are with me.
No, I'm saying, like, are your kids mixed, or are they black?
Oh, their father is mixed from British.
British and black, or just British?
British mixed.
Oh, so he's black and British.
Black and white. Mixed.
Black and white. I'm sorry. Okay. Have you seen the Housewives of Oyibo? Have you seen that?
No.
You know what that is?
No.
Oh, okay.
You are going to have a housewife of Oyibo?
No, you need to go see that. You and Brad you guys probably get casted on it. You and Brad. Either way. In fact, hold on. I think you were actually on there. Hold on one second. Let me pull it. I think we got footage of you and Brad on there. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up real quick. I think we got footage of you and Brad. Yeah, I think we got footage of you and Brad on there. Hold on one second.
Please do.
Yeah, let me pull up this footage real quick. Give me 1 second. I think there is footage of you and Brad on the Housewives of Oyibo when you and Brad were in Lagos. When you and Brad went to Lagos, they got footage of you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and play this footage for everybody so they can see you and Brad. Give me 1 second.
Oh my God.
Let me go ahead and
oh my God.
let me go ahead and play this footage for you guys real quick of you and Brad.
Married to white guys, most of them are trashy. You don't hear me that say all of us are trashy? Come on. If you're educated, you should share up and get yourself home.
People say.
Uh-oh, is that you? Is that you? Is that Brad? Is that Brad?
Her husband's better looking than that.
Brad, you want to
hold on, is that you and Brad?
No, Brad is very handsome. You want to see Brad's picture?
Is that you and Brad?
No.
That's you? No, that's you. Hold on, that's you, Halima. That's the same wig you got on. That's the same wig you got on, Halima. That's you. That's the same exact wig you got on. That's you and Brad.
I am married for 10 years now. I've never ventured out there to meet with another man.
Only thing that you have in your life is your husband, no job.
Wait, how dare this trash talk about my personal life? Trying to be nice in this table. I believe it's on this table, not in this table. Here's my husband.
Hold on, is that you and Brad?
Anyway.
Is that Brad? Is that you and Brad?
No. You want to see?
Show this picture.
You want to see Brad's picture?
What did you just say? I just got your garbage down.
I'm going to excuse myself right now before I break those.
Uh-oh. So yeah, that was
Parts of
Brad
Lagos.
and
No,
so
you know,
you guys
if Brad
got
and I
the
go there, we're gonna win. We're gonna win.
so everyone that was Halima and Brad.
Oh my
Halima and
God.
Brad, everybody. Halima and Brad.
You wanna see Brad? Let me find Brad for you. I will show you Brad.
That's you and so everybody, we found the footage of Halima and Brad, housewives of Oyibo.
Oyibo housewife of Lagos.
Oyibo housewives. We found the footage.
That is. Can you see Brad?
Let me see.
That's Brad.
Oh, that's Brad. Okay. Okay.
You see Brad? Don't laugh. Why are you laughing? So you see Brad?
Yeah, we
I
saw
do,
Brad.
I do better.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I don't know what to say, but I guess good for you. I hope things are let me ask you this. Does Brad do this to your hair too? Hold on one second. Let me show you this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Does Brad do this to your let me see if I can find this video.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. But everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Halima, thank you for joining us. So Halima, let me ask you this. You're now do your kids, do they identify as black? Like what do they identify as?
My kids, they are Africans.
They're Africans. Okay. So let me ask you this. Are you going to, I guess, recommend that they marry proper Igbo women?
No, they will be left to make their choice.
Okay. Okay. What now how do you feel now? Do you believe that do you believe that generational wealth can be passed? Do you believe black men could pass down generational wealth without dating or marrying black women?
Mm. Yeah, to some extent.
How?
You know, a lot of black people, I won't say a lot, maybe I would say a certain school of black people don't they don't actually give uh the next generation the tools to use, because you need tools, you need to have that opportunity to forge ahead to get to the next level. So, you know, it's totally different from the way the other people will, because the other brat people will set the tools, they will give the kids, you know, the newer generation, they will give them the opportunity to succeed, which
Mm.
will lack in our generation. You know, you don't give a child the tool, you don't give some, you need to put somebody in a position where they can attain, you know, but they don't have that opportunity, they don't have that chance, they don't have the tools to work with. So how do you want them to even achieve and attain and then pass it on when they don't even have the tools? You know, it's like me trying to be successful just for me. I'm not bringing along the next person to join force with me. I just want to be the only person on top, you know. So, but in the Brad's kingdom, they work together, they work in unison. They will give the tools for the person to use and achieve, you know.
Mm. Now, let me ask you this, Halima. Now, there's been stories out of Ghana and Uganda of women, African women, hooking up with Chinese workers, and these Chinese workers getting them pregnant and then leaving them. How do you feel about that?
In the first place, why will you even go out with a Chinese man?
Okay, so
Exactly.
so you're saying they should
No,
have.
in the first place, let me tell you one thing.
Go
In
ahead.
Africa, if you go out with a Chinese man, it's like you dating a madman on the streets.
It's
No,
the
it's a matter. Because one, I for one will not go date a Chinese man, and is a norm over there for a girl. You want to make a choice of brat people. You don't go with the Chinese, because Chinese and Africa, they are not. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
I do.
The
I'm trying to.
the Ghana girl would rather go with brat people than go with the Chinese, and that has also gone to do with we be mentally enslaved. It's just your psyche. It's just that mentality of that lighter skin. And it all boils down. Why will you even go date a Chinese? Because the Chinese people, they are a community. I've been to China a lot because I used to do a lot of business in China. And I've gone to a lot of cities in China. And I know how, as a Black person, I am treated. So why would I even go sleep with a Chinese man? Why will I even go have baby for a Chinese man? Because even in China, there is a law when it comes to relationship. You have Chinese who cannot even, a Chinese from Guangzhou cannot go and marry a Chinese from Wuhan. And this is a distance of, say, I would say maybe Atlanta to Tennessee. So if you have this group of people, even within the Chinese kingdom, they don't even agree to marry. And they even have a law in the country where the Chinese man or couple can have only one child. The second baby does not have an identity. This is Chinese to Chinese. The constitution in the country allows them to have just one baby. So this man has gone as an expatriate to Ghana to work, to make money, and take back to his country, to amass wealth for himself, because we have the natural resources that every other country depends on to succeed. But because of our mentality, because of we are mentally enslaved, we cannot see beyond the physical. We allow these people to come in, steal the resources, destroy the land, impregnate the women, and leave. He can't take you to China. He can't even stay with you because back home, he's only entitled to one baby. And maybe back home, he has a baby. So what is the future of this baby? You understand? So, and every girl of this generation knows that, because a lot of women in Ghana go to China for business. A lot of them, even the ones in the villages, when I was back home there, they go to China and they know that that is how the law is. So why would you want to have a baby for him?
Okay, but a lot of people in the chat are saying they hear you, but they feel like you're not credible because you're married to Brad. What would be your response to that?
What would be it's my choice. I can marry anybody, but I cannot marry a Chinese. So Brad is an American, and for me to hold my American passport, I am holding a passport of the world. Everybody all over the world come to America to just be a citizen, and I happen to be married to an American. That is a pride. So let them bring on their words. Let's see what they have to say to that. Those that don't agree are even coming here. They pay people to give them American citizenship. Do you know what it means to be an American? For me to have an American passport and to even have an American husband is a big well done to my identity. So when I pick my American passport and I get to any airport, they don't even look at it. They tell American citizen, go. Even when you come into the country, they say citizen this way, others that way. So what are you talking about?
It's about advancing yourself in life.
Yes, I advance myself. When I go to China now, because I have an American, like China, if I go to China now because I have an American passport, I will get all the business. They will sit on the table and listen to me because I have an American passport.
And that's true, because I was in Guangzhou in November to December.
Not just my cousin owns a school in China, and just the fact that he has an American citizenship, every Chinese will bring his child to that school to learn English. But he is a black man. But because he owes everybody all over the world, everybody knows America rules the world, and everybody wants to be identified with that blue passport. So what are you talking about? The people that disagree with me, they will pay any amount of money just to get to America. They will
All right,
pay.
And we must help them to come,
Americans
Halima.
they will pay Americans to marry them.
And we have to help them
American
to come.
passport. So let them bring it on the table, and I can name names of people that are well-to-do in their country, but they came here just to have the blue passport, and they will lick Brad's ass. Brad licks my ass. He worships the ground I step on. He calls me his African queen. So what are you talking about?
Hey, hey, they saying you over there eating them fufu butter biscuits, Halima. Them fufu butter biscuits.
I eat African food, even in America. And Brad eats my African food. He eats goat meat. He eats fufu. He eats all the spicy food. We don't even eat the American food in our house. We eat all that.
I'm trying. You know, I don't know how to digest this. Oh, let me ask you this, Halima. How do you feel about the black woman, the singer that was killed by Brad in Nigeria? Did you hear about that?
No.
Okay. Now this is what I was told earlier today by a Nigerian man.
Mm-hmm.
The Nigerian man said a lot of these Nigerian women who marry white men aren't respected, and a lot of them do it because a lot of them are, I guess, covering up for prostitution. What are your thoughts on that comment that the Nigerian man made?
The Nigerian man himself is a prostitute. So it takes a prostitute to know a prostitute. It takes a prostitute to know a prostitute. In few months, I'll have my PhD. So I don't need to be a prostitute to be married to a white man. The white man walked up to me like every other black man will walk up to me, woo me, spoke to me, took time, visits me, take me out on dinner. The Nigerian man that is telling you that because they are prostitute, when he meets you today, he wants to take you to bed. But when he's done dating you for 8-10 years, he will not marry you. He will go to the village and pick a virgin. So who do you want to marry? The girl that you have, this virgin, and have used her, taking all her time, taking all her energy. She has cooked for you, washed for you. You did not marry her, and no other man wants to marry her. And the white man comes and loves her and wants to treat her like a queen, and you say she's a prostitute. You are a prostitute. It takes a prostitute to know a prostitute.
So did your ex husband dump you for a woman in the village?
No.
So what happened between you and the father of your children? What happened?
He was never there.
Is he? And he's Nigerian and British.
No, he's British. He was never there. He was a pilot, so he was never there. So, and my idea of marriage is, at that age that I was young, you were supposed to be there. You were never there. Never there means like maybe I see him once a year. Once a year. So were you guys
married?
Yes, legally married for 7 days in Africa.
7 days?
Yes, he came to do the traditional thing, married me the right way, paid, did every African ritual that he has to do, flew in people in 2 planes to Africa to get married to me.
Okay.
So he did the right thing.
Yeah, do you guys still talk at all, or?
Oh yes, we have bond forever. 2 kids.
Okay. Now, okay. Let me ask you this. Here we go. To tie it back into the subject matter. How is he? How is he with the kids? Like, does he take care of his kids?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so he takes care of his kids. I mean, does he have a plan in place to ensure that the kids are okay once he moves on? Like,
Yes.
okay, well, I mean, so there's generational wealth. There we go. I wish he was around more,
And
but
Ndona, look at where you're taking the points to.
But let me ask you something. So Halima, because my belief is that in order for the children to be able to learn the traditions and culture and be able to have the desire to invest within their own community, a lot of times it comes from the education that the mother gives to the children.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you believe the same way, or?
Yes, I do.
Because if the mother was white, it's different.
Yeah, if the mother was white, it's different. But when it's the other way around, that is a totally different thing altogether. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I totally agree with you, 100%.
cool. But what we'll go ahead and do, because it's getting late. We'll go ahead and and close out. Halima, thank you for coming on. Everybody was requesting you. Everybody, now
They
this is
just
my
want to
issue.
laugh.
This is my
You know,
issue. Everybody
they
was
just
requesting
request so they
Halima.
can laugh.
I'll bring her on. Now they mad. Everybody was requesting Halima. I'll bring her on. Now some people are mad.
What
So,
are you mad about?
I don't know. They're upset. They wanted me to bring her on. She's
Why?
sharing her truth.
Hmm?
Now we got people upset. Like, I mean, goodness.
Why
What
are
did
they upset? They don't want to hear the truth. The truth
Yeah,
is
that's what I'm
bitter.
saying. Y'all don't want to hear the truth. The truth.
Yeah, the truth is bitter. And I will say it anytime and I will take it anytime. When you tell me the truth, I accept it. And I will tell you thank you. Because, like you said, the Nigerian man wants to talk about the Nigerian girls that are married to white people. Ask the Nigerian man how he has treated that girl. You want to talk, but the Nigerian man will have a wife in the house, even the ones that are not from the tribe where you can marry more than one wife. And they have concubines, they have mistresses. Some mistresses will even have the audacity to be calling their wives. And he wants to talk about a girl that has found uh, 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 an achievement for herself where she will be treated like a lady. The Nigerian man crosses his leg for you to serve him food. This is 21st century. The Nigerian man crosses his leg. He goes out and sleep with all the girls on the street, and he still pretends to be the best husband in the house. So this is an issue of the pot calling the kettle black.
Mm-hmm.
She's there with the other man. The Nigerian man will go after a girl that has bleached her skin from being this color of mine to being light skin. So you are just living in deceit. You understand? The Nigerian man will see a girl that is so black, so beautiful, but he will go talk to that girl that is mixed. And he will worship that girl that is mixed. So they are just hypocrites to me. Yeah, that's been hypocrite, So just call a spade a spade. In the days of old, when you come back home to Nigeria with a white lady, you'll be respected. When you come back home with a white man, they will practically worship the ground you step on.
You're telling the truth. You are telling it, guys. She's making a great point there. A buddy in Senegal told me, Senegalese woman and Senegalese man find a white woman or man, they think they found heaven.
Yes.
You're absolutely. I agree with you. I agree.
That is a complete statement of fact. I will tell you.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. That's true. When I was in Tanzania, a mutual friend of mine, he had a friend in Tanzania, and we had mutual friends in Tanzania. And I remember this like it was yesterday. He said, "Yeah, that's my friend. I forgot his name." And he said, "Oh yeah, by the way, he has a white wife." And he was just so excited and happy for having a white wife. Like he made it. Like, yes, he has a white wife.
Yeah, so
yes. So she's right. She's right.
They need to come out and say the truth. It's not all school of thought, but call a spade a spade. You understand what I mean? You have medical doctors that are black women that are married to white men, not because they are prostitutes. You have educated women that are black women, educated men if you check the history of Nigeria very well, you check the Yoruba tradition, in the days of old, the Yoruba people are very educated people. They love to go to school. They love going to abroad. When they come abroad, they marry white women, they take them back home. You know, they are respected in the society. You know, it's a pride that you actually came here, you acquire, you got educated, and you brought home a white wife or a white husband. They respect them. The African men of today, we want that girl that has bleached her skin. Now, all the girls on the street are bleaching their skin because to please the men. Why don't they talk about that? And then
Yeah,
at the end
now
of the
that's
day, they
true.
have skin
You
cancer.
have the
Why don't they
women
talk
bleaching their
about
skin
that?
just so they can get a husband. Just yeah.
A Nigerian man told me, "Oh, Halima, you know, you need to start rubbing some you know, there are a lot of creams. It's not bleaching, but you know, just turn up a bit." I love myself like this. I don't look at what I use. You see, Nivea, and
Mm.
just on my feet and my hands, not even the whole of my body, just on my feet, so I don't look ashy. But this is a man, and he's from my country, telling me, "Oh, I have this lotion. You know, you just, you know, you shine a little bit, not too light skin." So is that not hypocrisy? And you want to talk about somebody who is married to a white man, or you want to talk about somebody who is, you know, the women are bleaching all over now. Go to all African countries. They are bleaching their skin, killing themselves just to get a husband, because the black men, the African men now want a light-skinned woman. So let's call a spade a spade. When there's a problem, let's tackle that problem and hit on that problem. What are we leaving behind? What is the legacy we are leaving behind for this newer generation? That is what we should talk about, not talking about who you marry or who you don't marry. If it's so okay for people, I made a video yesterday about the president of Nigeria. If it's so okay, I will not come to America. But people are begging to eat now because you have the leader at the helm of affairs has made the country very unbearable for people. A rich man that I know in Africa called me for $36. Do you know what that means? I went on air. I went on Facebook Live to talk about that. For that person to call me, that is somebody who I will go to, and I said I need $10,000. In the twinkle of an eye, he will give me that. And now he's calling me for $36, which is 10,000 naira. Do you know what that means?
He's
And
not
then they
good.
want to, what is, instead of them to tackle the issue that will uplift and lead them to the advancement of the country, to uplift people, to build a stronger generation tomorrow, they're talking about these irrelevant things.
Okay, let me ask you this last question, Halima. Now, I still don't understand why, you know, you're so adamant towards Chinese men, but give white men a pass. I don't. Now, let me ask you this, Halima. Are you a Christian?
If I'm a Christian, I'm a believer.
Are you a Christian?
I'm a believer.
What's
I
that
don't say
mean?
I'm a
What is that?
Christian
What is
and
that?
then
What does that mean, Halima? What does that
I'm a
mean?
believer.
Traditional
I believe
practices.
I am a metaphysician, and I believe in the divinity of God. I believe there's a supreme being up there, the architect of this great universe. So I'm not going to say I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim or I'm this. No, I believe in the one supreme being that watches over everybody.
Okay. But I just don't understand how you're so adamant that you know that you. Why don't you put European men or Brad in the same bucket as the Chinese man? I just don't understand how
Because
you.
because the European men don't have a law where it says they just need to have one child. Women can go date a Chinese man, but don't have babies for them because the baby cannot even be a Chinese citizen. The baby is not recognized in that country because China has his laws. And that is a country I have been to for years. So I know what I'm talking about. So why would you go have a child for a Chinese man that cannot put his name on the child? That the country itself controls how many kids you can have, even as a Chinese citizen, two Chinese people. So if you have two children in China, one will get a passport, the other will not get a passport. Let them go and check the constitution there. You are only required to have one child. And these men that go down there to Africa, majority, 95% of them are married men. So you want to catch fun with a Chinese man. Why will you even catch fun with a Chinese man? It has been proven they don't even have a good manhood. It's like this. So why will you even, what is there that you are catching fun for?
Did you understand what you said?
No,
The size of their penis.
The size
Oh,
of the
okay,
like
okay.
this. So what are you catching? What kind of fun are you catching there? God has created this world beautiful. He's giving you beautiful things to enjoy in life. So with this, what will I do with that? I like to face. I'm a very realistic person. So what will I do with? I've been to China. I went to China like for 10 years. Every 2 months I'm in China because I was doing business there. So what fun do you want to have there? I like handsome looking men. I need to look at my men like that. So why would I go with a Chinese man when I'm looking down at him like that? You know? So I'll give pass to Europeans any day, anytime. I'll give pass to Caucasian any day, anytime. Because there's something there.
Okay. Okay.
Especially the ones that have 1% black in them. There's something there.
Jesus Christ. White Jesus Christ. Oh. White Jesus
Which
Christ.
of the Jesus Christ? The white or the black?
White Jesus Christ. This is all white Jesus Christ. This is a white Jesus Christ situation. All right, this is the last question from King Love. Do you know the history of the European man? Like what he did to Africans? Do you know that history? Do you care about that?
I don't care. I don't care what the European has done, because before the European ever set their feet or their foot in Africa, slavery has been going on within the black people. Black people selling each other. The black people serving in the palaces as slaves. So don't even go there that European. It's been going on in that continent before the Europeans or the Europeans came. So it was a thriving business amongst the people before. If you don't have anything to sell, the European will not come to buy. So it was going on there. Go tell him to go read his history very well, because slavery has been there from time immemorial, before my great-great-grandfather was born, before even the European discovered that there's such trade is going on there, because it was trading. So when they don't know history, I am a researcher. I research, I read, I travel. So what are they going to talk about? We should talk about how to build a country, how to gather all the resources and go and build a country, because they don't want to face the fact. Don't even bring me on this program, because you're going to have a lot of haters, because I will say it just the way it is. The highest they can say is that, oh, she's a prostitute. That's all. And every woman, every man is a prostitute.
All right, cool. All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna close out. Ndona, anything you want to share in closing? Also, shout out to Solo TV 84. Hey, Solo TV 84 agrees with you. He says she's telling the truth. He agrees with you.
I wish the show could have been longer today.
It's 10:38. Trust me, there would definitely be a part 2. We can definitely do a part 2.
No, Halima, you have to participate.
Yeah, it would definitely be a part 2 with Halima. We would definitely have you back on.
Tell me, talk about metaphysics.
Okay, you can talk about
wait, listen, Halima. You can talk to him about traditional religions in Nigeria.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Solo TV said you want a part 2. And we could
let's do traditional religion and beautiful culture.
Yeah, we could do metaphysics and how you use the secret, to use your mental powers to attract Brad into your life. How you turn thoughts into things and manifested Brad into your life.
I can't wait to get to Pratt tomorrow. Ndona, pick me up
Yes.
from the airport.
Just send me the details. I'll pick you up. Serious.
Yes, ma'am.
Send me a messenger. I'll pick you up.
All right, my darling.
Boy, we got some foo-foo butter biscuits for you, Halima. Some foo-foo butter biscuits.
Lord.
Some foo-foo butter biscuits.
Why
All
butter
right.
biscuit?
Huh?
Why butter biscuit?
Butter bit. We gonna make you some foo-foo butter biscuits.
Who eats butter biscuits?
Yeah, foo-foo butter biscuits.
But what are butter biscuits though?
We'll define. We'll go into that in another stream. Butter biscuits. Aleem, I have faith in you that you will one day come back to Africa in all aspects of life.
Oh yes, why not? That's my country. I will go back.
She's talking about African man.
Yeah, Africa all together.
Oh no. I'm looking for DT.
Okay.
The orange man.
The who?
Donald
Orange
Trump.
man.
Oh,
DT. Donald
Jesus.
Trump.
Oh, white Jesus fucking Christ. On that note, Ndona, go ahead and close out whatever you want to say.
Well, as far as the generational wealth, I do believe that you do need to have at least,
We need white Jesus to fix this, Halima.
No.
We need white Jesus to fix this. But go ahead, Ndona. Go ahead and close it out.
In order to create generational wealth, you do need to have a Black wife who's going to be willing to teach that to their children. And, nothing to knock the white women, but they tend not to be able to teach that to their children and the importance of investing in the community.
Okay, absolutely. And everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Please go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also go to searchforuhuru.com, go to Amazon.com, search your name, Dynasty Samir, please buy a book. Go to dynastysamir.com and go to africapersonified.africa. And I'm hoping that white Jesus comes down to Halima.
I don't need no white Jesus. I worship the supreme being, the great creator of the universe.
Yeah.
He has no color.
Right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So until then, Halima, we're gonna come up with the foo-foo butter biscuit recipe until white Jesus comes.
Can you say something to close out?
Yeah. Go ahead and close it out. Then we'll log off. Go ahead, Halima. There it is.
Okay, I love you all. United we stand, divided we fall.
God damn it.
United we stand, divided we fall. So we need to be united. White, green, blue, yellow, Chinese, Buddhist, Indian, Let's just be in one accord.
All right, you guys. Until next time, peace.